hula wahine of Na Hula o Kaohiku Kapulani as they prepare for the Merrie Monarch Hula Festival. For Kumuhula Kapu Kinimaka Alkiza, hula is her life. Like many dancers, hula came into her life early.
Well, I started dancing just around 4 years old, and my first kumuhula was Auntie Lavia Pana from Wailua, Kauai. And then we moved over to Anahola, and my parents brought us to Uncle Joe Kahaulilio. So Uncle Joe Kahaulilio was actually my last kumuhula here on Kauai until he moved over to California.
Later on, raising a family took priority, and it wasn't until her third daughter was born that she began to think about teaching hula, and thus her halau was born.
It started in 1984 when we first started the halau, and my daughter was 3. And I mainly started because I wanted her to be part of what I was, what I enjoyed when I was a young kid. And so I just actually wanted to work with her, and before you knew it, I told my neighbor, and my neighbor told her neighbor, and it just kind of grew from there in our car garage in Hanapepe. And I'm here today because it became part of my life.
Their dances this year honor Kauai. Here at the mouth of the Waimea River, they perform their kahiko, which they dance in honor of the late Kumuhula Pohaku Nishimitsu.
Some years back, he allowed me to step into his life and shared a lot of knowledge. He shared a lot of knowledge with me, and this is one of the chants that he shared with me.
The mele honors Queen Kapi'olani, and it mentions many wahipana, or special places, like the waters of Waimea and the sands of Luhi.
I believe that the wahipanas are mentioned in chants because they have significant places where historical events were taking place in the mele. And so we try to break down the mele and look into the different place names that the mele is mentioning, and try to get a sense of what history was like back then. Even if we can't go there personally, but we try to make sure we can speak with the kupuna and other resources to help us to get a more clear imagery of those special places.
From Waimea to Polehale Beach for their Hula Oana, which was written by Kumuhula Kapu.
It's an experience that came when family all gathered together on a Labor Day weekend and spent nights and days here, just enjoying nature and enjoying the weather and fishing and picking up pihi and surfing and swimming and just having a good time. If the water comes, don't you dare run away from it now. If you're in that part of the song, you just take it, okay? Then you'll really have a true emotion. And a silk skirt. Yes, and a silk skirt. Having Nepali behind us, our ancestors that thrive in those caves, and believing to feel that they do watch us where we're at, and they do protect us. And in our song, I have a bit of that in the mele, which is expressing how our kupuna watches over us from the caves of Nepali. So I'm very comfortable with what Aku allows me to haku together for Kauai as well as our halau.
For this Kauai halau, traveling to Hawaii Island for the Merrie Monarch takes a lot of time and preparation, but Kapu sees it as a priceless experience.
The growing experience is basically what gives us the drive to continue to participate in the Merrie Monarch Festival. We do all kinds of stuff based on the mele that we choose, and try to understand the history of the meles that we decide to dance, and try to get ourselves back into that time and frame of the mele. So we discover new information about history and our ancestors and the island, different the Wahipanan place names. And so those are just a few things that we gain as we move along in each year of participating in Merrie Monarch. And that we can't do every single time in class, because we enjoy our hula kahiko, we enjoy our hula awana, but we are also halau that participates in other cultural dances as well.
Honoring Hawaii's heritage. Watch the Merrie Monarch Festival starting April 12th live at 6 p.m. only on KITV4, Island Television.
Left, right, left. There you go. Okay, good. Just gotta make sure on the water, your hands are moving together. Some of you were lined up crooked, okay?
Kapua Deliri Moy, getting her halau ready for their first appearance at the Merrie Monarch Festival. A first for her halau, but not for Kapua. She has danced many years at the Merrie Monarch. She's the daughter of Kumuhula Aloha Deliri, and Kapua herself was Miss Aloha Hula 1991.
We're excited, but yeah, nervous, because, you know, it's Merrie Monarch. Everybody is waiting for Merrie Monarch. And then for me, you know, my mother and her halau will be there as well. They've gone every year almost since I can remember. Everybody's body is leaning different. Side back now, you gotta lean on your win, okay? And hold your chin up. I feel like I have some big shoes to fill, you know, being that I come from a family who have 3 Miss Aloha Hulas, whose mother was the first Miss Aloha Hula, and just trying to follow in those footsteps and make sure that what we present on stage that night, you know, is pleasing to not only her, but everybody else who's there to support us. O pukai kala makahikina me ka hua ka ihele no kumukahi ha'amaina iwa me hi'iaka me ka pola ka ika ue hine e maina iwa maku ualo me ke alo kapu o ke iwa ho ino e ke kapu me na ali'i e ola mako a maulo alahai.
After waiting for more than 4 years, the halau was invited, and then the real excitement began.
Right after we got invited to Merrie Monarch, I found out I was pregnant. So my first question to my doctor was, when is my due date? So luckily she's here. She was born March 9th, and that left me about 4 weeks to get the women, you know, fine-tuned so that we can board the plane and get to Hilo.
Baby joins Kapua and her other children at hula practice, living up to her name, Malie, calm. It is a hula family, with husband Tino shown here helping out.
Training the men, for me, I've been fortunate as well. My husband played a big role in that. I mean, I did a lot of the beats and the choreography along with him, but he conducted a lot of the classes so that, you know, they have that more masculine type of training done.
The halau will dance Kauai mele. The men's mele speaks of Chief Mo'ikeha.
You hear so many legends about Kamehameha and I don't know, all the other ali'i, but in doing research of the Chief Mo'ikeha, it talks about how he did a voyage on his canoe and how he discovered Kauai. And prior to approaching land, one of his kahunas, so to speak, that was on board with him, chanted the oli that the men will be performing as well, Eia Hawaii. Iwalea anai ka lalo ka paai ke ka huli ake ka lukalu ka lohi ana pau ka lau ke kukui e ia au ka ili lau ke koa e Iwalea anai ka lalo ka paai ke ka huli ake ka lukalu ka lohi ana pau ka lau ke kukui e ia au ka ili lau ke koa e Ike ike o ne kania o no hili. Ike ike o ne kania o no hili.
The women dance a hula noho, or seated hula. Not an easy dance.
A hula noho is always pleasing to the eye and it looks nice and fresh. But for the women, they found that it was going to be a challenge because a lot of them haven't really done a noho before. So in preparation for it, the exercise and the maintaining their level sitting, you know, on the floor, they found out that it's kind of strenuous and it's not that all fun to keep having to drill it over and over and over. I think a lot of it is the knowing where to position your weight on top of your feet when your feet are flat on the floor, and then a lot of the up-down motions, you know, kind of get to your knees. But the hardest challenge they had to overcome was standing up after that and actually dancing off the stage. Pa iho kamakani la he kiu. Pa iho kamakani la he kiu. Pa iho kamakani la he kiu.
Kapua says she does see a little of her mother in her teachings, but hopes to stand out in her first Merrie Monarch appearance as Kumuhula.
I try to be creative on my own, but a lot of the traditional stuff that was instilled in me is still there. So you'll see it, and I'm sure people will recognize that we kind of look, our girls kind of look alike in a lot of aspects. So I hope that I do my job well and that people will know where my lineage came from and where my family is from and where our traditions with hula come from.
This year, we lost several people with significant ties to the Merrie Monarch Festival. I've had the honor of spending time with each of them in past Backstage shows. Tonight, we share with you snippets of the stories of these very special people. They will be missed. Uncle George began dancing for Tom Hiona in the late 1940s.
It started off with about 12 men just chanting, learning to play the ipu and learning the dances. And then from then on, this went on and on.
After taking a break, he has returned to teaching with a weekly class where many of the students are kumuhula themselves.
So when the class started to come, students started to come, I said, oh no, these are kumuhulas. Oh no, they're alakais. I said, oh no. She says, Uncle, They all want to learn from you. They want to learn your style.
She was a mainstay at the Merrie Monarch Festival, Kumuhula Nina Maxwell from Pukalani Hula Hale. She preferred to stay behind the scenes on our hula journeys, like this one that took us to Haleakala. A chill is in the air as Angela Leva begins to dance at Haleakala. Leva is a dancer with the Pukalani Hula Hale, and when she takes the stage for the Miss Aloha Hula competition, she will honor Maui and Haleakala.
My chant, E Pu'upu Kano Ya Poliahu, was written by my kumu's husband, Uncle Charlie, and it speaks of Poliahu, the goddess of snow, Pele's sister, and her adornments when she comes to Maui.
We caught up with John Kaimikawa in 1993.
Hula to me is very sacred. The hula to me, the ancient dance, is the spiritual link that we have to our ancestors. When ancient dance is performed, the chanting, the drumming, those who are listening, they cannot help but takes themselves back into the ancient days. They can feel their ancestors, they can feel those things. And just those moments that the dance is being performed, that is why it's so special. That is why it's so important for us Hawaiians to have the dance, because it makes us remember who we are and who our ancestors were.
This is Ho'ona, a slice of old Hawaii, located along the Kona coastline of the Big Island. A member of a family that was removed from this property during the war has returned to restore what once was home. Among those helping in the restoration, Ku Kanaka Kaua o Kona, a kane halau headed by Kumuhula J.J. Akiona.
Ho'ona has been a blessing for the halau since I moved down here with my kāko'o and my po'opua kamakele, and in learning how to take care of the land has helped us in a newer dimension and level how to take care of our people.
The men of his halau have faced many trials throughout their young lives and say hula has helped them find direction. Akiona welcomes them in and doesn't charge for his teaching.
Because I think hula is something that has been lived and learned. You can learn a lot through basics. So we take in a lot of broken homes, drug problems, alcohol problems, and come together and work. And with the hamana that I have today, the job that I carry today helps me use hula as a tool to heal.
Thanks for joining us. The Merrie Monarch Festival is truly an event not to be missed. If you can't be there in person, then tune in to KITV Island Television's coverage of the Merrie Monarch Festival this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights, beginning at 6 o'clock. We will also have live streaming video on our website, thehawaiichannel.com. So you have no excuse. Enjoy the hula. Until next time, aloha.
This special Merrie Monarch presentation is proudly presented by Hawaiian Airlines. Hawaiian Airlines' new Fare Shopper lets you select your lowest price travel options with just a few clicks. Check it out at hawaiianairlines.com. And sponsored in part by Resort Quest Hawaii, Celebrity Tuxedos, Fabric Mart, Hawaii Community Federal Credit Union, Hawaiian Telcom, Kanu Oka'aina, the law offices of Robert Marks, Mauna Loa, and Office of Hawaiian Affairs.